Y bienvenidos. This is Latin American Studies 101. I am your teacher, Yvette Saldana, and today we'll be talking about health education in Hispanic communities, specifically sexual health education. One thing to note is that sexual health isn't just about biology, it's about identity, access, and empowerment. That's why we talk about it. Hispanic teens in the U.S., many with Latin American studies heritage, face higher risks for STIs and teenage pregnancies. Why that is? It's usually tied to poverty, cultural silence around the topic of sex, and also limited access to this kind of healthcare. The World Health Organization states that over 50% of pregnancies among girls 15 to 19 in low-income regions are usually unattended. So, how does culture, pride, and identity connect with this topic? In Latin American cultures, we know that topics like sex and HIV or STDs are often seen as taboo topics. I think pride and cultural identity can actually protect teens from risks of sexual activity. Although when a student feels proud and connected to their pride, their ethnic pride, and their cultural identity, they can have more confidence in going and reaching out for help connected to sexual health care, and other things revolving around this. So something to think about. How does cultural silence about sexuality affect generations across borders? Moving on, some barriers to consider about sexual health care in these Hispanic communities is that many health services don't offer Spanish-speaking counselors. Many of you have experienced this. I have experienced this, having to translate for parents, all of that. And it really creates a language barrier. Due to fear, many teens in undocumented families usually tend to avoid clinics. This fear can have to do with myths about sexual education because they don't have good sexual education. It can be fear because of religious reasons, or it could be fear for having an undocumented family. There are many things to consider, and it's only fair that we take all of this into consideration when speaking about this. Another discussion question I have here is, think about colonization and how it still shapes access to education, healthcare, and rights. Something to end with is that we understand health through culture and equity. We can build stronger, safer communities and help those who really need it. How do you think culture, family expectations, or access to resources shape the way teens learn about and experience sexual health in your own community? This is something I would like you guys to talk about in your groups.